That was fun. Alright. Fixed. 51. My mouse is really sensitive right now. Yeah, did I change the DPI? It feels bigger. It feels better, I think. Oh, wait, did I press the wrong button? I did. Damn. Okay. Wait, what button is it then? Is it this one? There we go. Okay. That's normal. Oh! On Godfather? Yeah. I think we'll be good. I'm gonna try to do what I say, where you just run in a circle the whole time, and I'm gonna see if that's actually good advice or not. Because right now I think it's good advice, but to be honest, I haven't really tried it, so I should try it before I say it's good advice. Because I think if you run around the outside the whole time, I think you have time to adjust the bombs, but admittedly, it's been a long time since I've done that, so... Or been on Machinist, anyway. The main thing I need... Wow, there's a lot of landmines here. The main thing I need to do is remember to always use sustains. I'm still not quite used to that. Nice. Oh, come on. If it opens here, I'm going to be a little upset. Yeah. The targeted respawns are really putting in work this month. Okay, not this way. Wow. I'm actually surprised that I got the imp in that. Looks like a 3-room. Hopefully it's enough. Unfortunate. Oh, but they're right here. That's all good. Just a run. I'm gonna get one of every good, well, one of the best of each role before Dawn Trail's over, so. It's been a really long time since I've done Machinist. So I'll do Machinist. I'm not really sure what I'll do next, but Machinist, Warrior, Sage, Reaper, what else am I missing? Caster, which I think is Black Mage. So that'll be the lineup. I was thinking of doing Black Mage. I feel like Black Mage is better. Which is crazy to say that, but maybe that's a personal thing? I'm not sure. Okay, slow dancer. 2 summoners. Interesting. Okay. I guess I'm curious about the reasoning there, because I definitely think I think I would prefer to be on Black Mage. It's basically machinist. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that part, but it's a machinist that gets pox. And I don't know. I feel like if I'm gonna get pox and with a shield, yeah. If I'm gonna get pox, I'd rather have more damage. And Black Mage is just nuts. But we'll see. If I end up failing, if I fail Black Mage, then I will do Summoner instead. Because I did Black Mage once in Dawn Trail, and I was like, alright, this is dumb. Actually, that's not true. I did it more than once, because I tried it when it was really bad. And I technically also did Ice Mage, but that doesn't count. So I guess I've done 3 Black Mage Palace runs in Dawn Trail. And we're about to do 4. Yeah, Ice Mage was... Well, it was spurred on by the change. Aw, man. Because as soon as I saw that you could be in ice forever, that was the inspiration. Finally, we lived in a world where the Ice Mage could actually prosper in Deep Dungeon. And it did. It actually made it. Wow, strong auto attack. Okay, I don't need that. The machinist clear? Yeah, I don't do machinist too much, huh? Definitely, it's not something you're gonna see me do very often, but figured it's been a long time. Yeah, I saw that Scholar has been pretty rough, which makes sense. I think it deserves more credit than it gets, but that doesn't mean that it's good. I always thought it was strong, but I mean, the numbers are kind of speaking for themselves. Because, yeah, Sadie... Sadie got really unlucky. He got really unlucky. Yeah, that last respawn was hilarious. Oh, you missed it? Yeah, you might want to check it out. There's, I mean, you know he didn't make it, but I guess you can find out how close it was. It was pretty bad. Man, I wish there was a way to get rid of this. All these times that we've naysayed Purify. Here I am wishing I had it for once. Wait, was that a drop? Yeah, it was. I wonder how far I can get tonight. Let's see. Because, yeah, I've got, what is that? Tank, healer, melee, biz ranged, caster. So I have 5 runs that I need to get done of Palace. I mean, it's before the end of the year, but still. Still 5 Palace runs I gotta get done. Although some of them are gonna be fast. I feel like I just did Sage, didn't I? Why did I do it? I know that I did. Yeah, I did White Mage, but I also did Sage, but I don't remember why. Like, I honestly have no... Why did I do Sage? I specifically remember because I did No Steel 190. Like, I remember doing that, but that is the only part I remember of the run. And I remember getting pretty lucky also, I remember that. I actually remember that being a pretty lucky run also. Why did I do Sage? Why did I do it? Why did I do Sage? I actually do not remember why I did it. I know that I did it, but I don't remember why I did it. It's weird. Yeah, I'm actually kind of scratching my head on that one. Usually I remember why I did a run, but I cannot remember why I did that one. This was on my main too. Like and it wasn't a score run. It was just a normal run. I don't know. I guess that's not the important part. For my own sake. Oh man, I thought I would have drill, my bad. Yeah, maybe I just did it for fun. I don't know. I guess there doesn't always have to be a reason. We on the boss? Yep. Because White Mage was for the curse lift. White Mage was for lifting the curse. What did I do before that? I was definitely on Red Mage for sure. For the monthly run. So I remember that. Which I failed. A lot of people did not clear the Red Mage run. I don't remember how far I got. I know I made it into the 190s. But I did not clear. I don't remember why either. Seems like forever ago, but I know I didn't clear that run. What did I mess up on? Misclick? Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a Red Mage classic. Yeah, I don't know. 30 submissions and only 12 clears. Yeah, it's hard. No matter what we say, it's hard. Which is why I don't think it's as good as people crock it up to be, because with that kind of success rate, can it really be that good? Although I'm pretty sure, if I remember, I think like Perfy made it the furthest they had ever been. So I mean, I guess there's maybe some merit to Red Mage there. I think that was like an all-time Palace PB for Perfy, which is cool. Yeah, 12 out of 30 is not good. Oh, I guess I should use this, huh? Okay. Yeah, I don't know which one I'll do after this. So I'm gonna do Machinist. I assume I will clear. It'll be funny if I don't, but I assume I'll clear Machinist. But if even if I don't clear on Machinist, I'm not doing a different fizz range. Like, this is definitely the best fizz range, so even if I fail, I'll do it again. Tank will definitely be Warrior. Healer will definitely be Sage. Melee is definitely Reaper. And then I think, yeah, I guess the only one I guess is up for debate is I think that Black Mage is the best now. But I could see an argument for Summoner. But I think Black Mage is the best. But I could be wrong. Dang. Almost a floor in 1 minute. Could have just been a little bit faster, a little bit better laid out. Actually, this should be a fast set because the 60s are generally quicker for whatever reason. I don't know why. It must be maybe Aether Pool, and also I guess you have Palms. Because when you start 51, you don't have anything. Wow, it's a lot of Turks. Holding? Okay. No. I was hoping that would be the last one. Now there could be a trap here, so I'm gonna kill that first. Hit me with the high kill. Dude, what? That's actually so high? Game's like, oh yeah? You think your 60s are gonna be fast, buddy? Check that out. Okay, I misspoke. It is funny because, oh, three-way? I'm just gonna cite. Okay. It is funny because pre-sustain change, I probably actually would have put more thought into like what order I want to do this, but it's like, well, there's pretty much no thought around sustaining conservation, so you can actually just do it in any order that makes me feel the best about it. Ooh, actually that's nice. Will it last? Come on. Peepo feet. I haven't gotten around to adding that. Not quite up with the times. Aw, sprint penalty? Ooh, nice. We have frog wide though, you know? That's pretty good. Nice. First reso. Do. Sure. I could get a core again. Why not? See? Yeah, frog wide's great. Dang. Dang! Double dang! I didn't kill them fast enough. I got a forced respawn. Kill. I guess I don't know. I guess I can see why people think this takes too long for like when you're just like run gun, rootin' tootin' shooting, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I feel like it's not too bad. Granted, if it was up to me, I would rather have 200 floors of like, you know, I would rather have 200 floors of like, you know, 171, 181-ish difficulty. Like, that would be the dream, but look, this isn't so bad, you know? You go in here, you run around, you shoot your gun. I mean, it's nice. It's a little relaxing. Get your nice sustaining potion stock going. So that you can have actually zero care about trying to conserve them or not. Sure, Walter again. No steel 180? Probably. I think I could probably make that work. I'll try it. I assume I'll have the time for it. The only rough part, though, is the lust. But we'll see. If I if I have the time, usually if I have time to do something, I'll try it. I forgot I checked that. Dang. I am not opposed to trying things if I have the time. I've been wanting to try in Heaven on High using the Noyagi knockback to test if that gets you out of landmine range. I've just wanted to test it, but every time I've been in Heaven on High recently, I haven't really had the resources or the time to do that kind of shenanigan testing. But someday I'll try it. Here. Stupid troll. I have never noticed these boxes. Who put these here? Witching. Safety. Safety's nice. This would be nice to leave here. Sweet. And a purity. Excellent. I was gonna say the landmine, that's kind of what I was thinking too, is like you get kicked at the exact same time the landmine does have to go off, so you just end up taking both at the same time and die. That's a very real possibility. Yeah, FedEx got really lost if they dropped the boxes off there. That is a wrong address. I don't think that's going to be the way out, but it could be. I'd rather check this way first. Keep pulling. Please be the last one. Don't make me run back. Or if this is a mimic, that would be great. Damn it. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, at least the respawn was here. Oh, it's Toasty. Hey, Toasty. How's it going? Thanks for the raid. How was PT treating you after floor 23 is about last time I saw what you were doing? Purity. We're gonna check both sides of the street here. Nice, found the exit. I'm still gonna go this way though because I want to make sure I have enough kills. I don't want to have to go back again and explore even further. Parked at 71. Dude, the desert does take a long time. That is definitely for real. If you have to double back on a desert floor, that takes so long. That's a rage. I don't really care. Well, thanks for stopping by. This is something that I thought of earlier today. I kind of want to do what I'm calling the Dawn Trail greatest hits, just kind of for posterity, you know? So once we get into Evercold, it'll be nice just to kind of look back and... because we don't know what's going to change. So I kind of wanted to do a run of the greatest hits. So kind of the best job in each role. And just kind of have that saved for good time's sake. So we're starting off with Machinist. And then the other ones that I've got lined up, there's the no sprint rage, are Warrior, Sage, Reaper, and I'm thinking Black Mage, quite honestly. Now, there is probably a little bit of debate for what the best caster is, but I think specifically if we're kind of going for Dawn Trail greatest hits, I think I don't know, so this is the thing. I only did one proper Black Mage run of Dawn Trail, because the first Dawn Trail run I did was of really bad Black Mage. And then the second one I did was Ice Mage. Or sorry, no, the second one I did was the new Black Mage, and then the third one I did was Ice Mage. So I only have one kind of data point there. But when I tried it, it felt really strong. So I'm kind of leaning towards doing Black Mage. But what we heard before was Summoner, which I can't disagree that Summoner is good, but look, this is my... every single greatest hits out there, there's always one track on a greatest hits album that's a little controversial, so that's going to be mine, as I think Black Mage deserves to be there, but maybe it doesn't. If I fail, then I will do Summoner. That's the deal that I made. If I end up failing on Black Mage, I will do Summoner. But I think Black Mage is going to win, because I think it's good. Yeah, if you haven't tried the new Black Mage yet, it's a different experience. It really is nothing like what it used to be. It is quite strong. Sorry, what did you say? You said I did a Red Mage run right after my Black Mage run, and I was like, okay, yeah, Red Mage is still better. What? Interesting. Okay. Because I also did them somewhat close to each other, and I walked away from that experience being like, wow, Black Mage is so good now. So it's interesting that we had a different take on that. I think it's a survivability thing. Black Mage is more pawn hungry. So that's why I kind of need to, I'm going to get hit by that, it's fine. That's why I need to do it again. Because I only did it the one time for, you know, just treating it as it is. Because the Ice Mage run was like super lucky, so I'm not going to really count that. But I only did one run, and obviously there's a lot of RNG that could have been at play there, so I think it deserves another try. And yeah, if I fail, we'll go to Summoner, because Summoner is definitely better than Red Mage. I really don't even think that's an argument. But who knows, maybe it is. I guess maybe there's someone out there who's like, no, I think I think Red Mage is better than Summoner, but I think most people would pick Summoner. Oh, I keep forgetting about Picto. Okay, so well, I have to be honest here, okay? I have to be straight up honest here. I am a Picto denier and a Picto hater. So it's gonna be really hard for me to get Picto in there. I honestly, you know what's funny? I didn't even think about it. I didn't even consider it in the running for one of the options. I am not a fan of Picto. Which is funny because it's actually the new Dawntrail job, right? Haven't touched Picto post-nerf. It's definitely strong still, I would say. I think I did one. I think I did a run after it got nerfed. I did, well, okay, I did. There was actually a couple iterations though, if you remember. There was actually like a couple iterations of nerfed Picto. I did the version where they made the casting like decently stronger. That was the version, I did 7.0, which was the strongest version for sure. But the second Picto run I did was when they made the casts like quite a bit stronger. That was like the second run that I did, 7.1. I wonder if that was the one that I did also. 7.0 was straight up busted. Oh, 7.2, okay. Yeah, see, I don't even remember. 7.0 Picto was just absolutely broken. .4 they brought things back up. Okay, then yeah, then that checks out. So that was the version that I did. Because yeah, I did it when they just made the casts really strong. And I was like, this is still good. And actually it got, when they did that, it was buffed in no abilities. So it's like, yeah, they nerfed it, but they actually buffed no abilities though. So it's like, it wasn't just a straight up downgrade. It was actually better in like a couple circumstances. So even the nerf was a buff. But it definitely was nowhere near how strong it was in 7.0. No abilities is the reason I would say Summoner is better than Picto. Yeah, Picto gets pretty wrecked by no abilities. Which, especially if we're kind of just thinking in terms of like overall viability, like for people of all skill levels, that's definitely, I think, a rough part that people struggled with on Picto, was you have to change your game plan when you get no abilities. And a lot of other jobs, you don't really have to change your mindset, you know? Like Machinist, you're still doing the same thing if it's no abilities or not. You just have less, like, you have less good buttons to press, but your game plan is still pretty much the same. You just run in a circle and shoot things until it dies, right? So it's like you don't really have to adjust your game plan too much for a no abilities floor. Black Mage, you don't either. You're just still casting Fire 4. Red Mage also is not that bad, but Picto changes a lot when you go to no abilities, so I definitely kind of credit that as why I don't view it as highly. Because if you don't know how to stagger kite on your casting, like stagger slide cast, it's pretty rough to stay alive. So that's kind of a necessary skill to have to make that shift. Oh yeah, I already checked that. Before the Black Mage changes, I would have called Red Mage the best job in no abilities. Yeah, Black Mage and no abilities is actually so strong now. It is, yeah, you're right. I mean, it is the strongest no abilities job. It does so much damage still, even in no abilities. It still does a lot of damage. It feels unfair how good it is. True. Conjurer may technically lose the least, but it's going from, you know, it's going from having almost nothing to barely nothing. Like, it's, yeah, just hovering on levels of nothing there. This was a nice little floor right here. Don't make me fight this. Nice. Yeah, because even if you end up getting haste, like if you had like wait, is that a possible enchantment combination? Haste, no abilities? I don't know. I don't feel, now I'm questioning if I've ever seen it. Well, either way, if you had haste, no abilities on Black Mage, you would be doing just fine, I guess was what I was going to say. Because haste on Black Mage in here is quite potent. That is hilarious. It missed the mimic. I do remember being blown away by Leyline's haste. I remember thinking that that also felt very unfair for how strong it was. I remember the first unlucky sprite that I fought that met its cruel end to so much Fire 4. Aw, man. I knew I should have fought this. Okay. Because the sprite is the ideal Black Mage enemy, you know? Because it doesn't have any AoEs, so you just get to sit there, sit in your ley lines, and Yeah, you just out DPS the sprite. Like, you will kill it before it kills you. It's pretty cool. Yeah, as I say, yeah, you can get interrupted, but hey, you can use Surecast, you know? One of the rare times to ever use it. We use Arm's Length all the time. Surecast doesn't get that much use. Kind of playing fast and loose here on the traps, but you know what? It's okay. Take a walk on the wild side every once in a while. Nice respawn. That's probably gonna see me. And that didn't explode. Unfortunate. This is going so fast. I know I didn't play like this when I was going for Necromancer. Like, for sure not. I should have. I would have saved a lot of time, but... I could even go faster, like if I didn't want to go back for this rage, but I want to keep my palms. Oh man, is that alluring though? I think it is. Ooh, nice. Strength on the way out. That will be strength for the rest of the set. Safety. Straightest lines possible. Although I guess Peloton's value here is slightly diminished with the introduction of jog, but I'll still use it. Nice. You never know. You can make a mistake and lose your run on any floor. Could be floor 1, could be floor 191. Can always lose. I think it's the same speed. I would have to test it, but I think it's the same speed. I feel like when Jog came out, I remember seeing an infographic of like different movement speeds in the game, and I think Peloton is the same speed as Jog, but I could be wrong. They're both 20? Okay. Raising Fortune. Yeah, Sprint is definitely faster for sure. Sprint and Expedience are the same. And they're faster than Peloton, which is Jog. And then it's normal movement. Actually, no, then it's ninja movement. It's ninja movement, then movement. And then ninja... No, then ninja walk... No, ninja hide is faster than walk. That's always a funny one too. Like if you're doing a ninja run and you want to get somewhere faster and you're by a sound enemy, your hide Hidden Ninja will not trigger sound mobs, and it's faster than walk. So if you walk in hide, I think you're going the... I can't remember if it's like slower or not, but I do know for a fact that hide will not aggro sound mobs, and it's faster than walk. So that's like very niche, probably not impactful, but you never know tech. That might... actually, you know where that can save you? Is, anytime that you are getting... Actually, I can think of a scenario right now. It's in, actually, this deep dungeon. If you're hidden and you're trying to not aggro... Which one would it be? Do Gravekeepers and Aramons share a set? Like, do they share floors together? Because that would be the perfect scenario of where walk would be worse than hide. Because if you're getting targeted by a wraith, then having that extra movement speed. Did you not read the title, sir? It's called Dawntrail Greatest Hits, Episode 1. So, I'm getting video evidence of all of the jobs before Evercold of the best jobs in each role. Oh man. Oh shit. Because who knows what's gonna happen. We've had a lot of claims over time about what's gonna happen and what's not gonna happen with jobs. But we don't know. We don't know what's actually going to happen to them. I don't know. The best jobs could change and evolve. I'm not sure. So that's kind of why I just want to get like a video of what I think are the best, and then have that for I don't know, just posterity basically. Floor 197 Ninja Hide Tech. Yep. It's one of the rare... It's like one of the few times where you have to dodge an AoE. Like a targeted AoE from a Wraith. And you're trying not to trigger a sight enemy and a sound enemy. And you need to get out of the AoE. Who knows? It could happen to you. Oh, I thought this was here? Dude, I don't even know what behemoth I'm fighting. Have I played any of the other Final Fantasy games? I have played 4 through 16 and Tactics and then 14. Well, I didn't play 11. Actually, I did play 11, but I only played it. I barely played 11, so I'm basically gonna say I didn't play 11. The Alexander, yeah. I like the double shield look. It's cool. I don't know when's the first time I'm gonna play Bastion because I'm still not really planning on having the expansion day one. But I'll get it eventually. Like I'll eventually get the expansion, but from all of the from all the keynote stuff I've seen, nothing excited me enough to be like, oh, I need the expansion day one. You know what I mean? So who knows? I might be able to get it on sale, you know, if I wait long enough. So I know I'll get it eventually, but I'm in no rush. I'll just be doing Deep Dungeon anyway, so I don't need the expansion for that. The toggle walk, yeah. Yeah, that's... Whoops, that's a moment of Deep Dungeon history for me. I mean to say... So, am I going to play FF7 Part 3? Probably not. Probably not. I'm not gonna go into it because I've complained enough about it, so I'll stop complaining. But they really did a number on that franchise for me. I am not gonna play part 3. I'm pretty mad at them. I thought Rebirth was actually very fun, but man, they really killed the story for me in that game. So I'm probably gonna watch Angelus play it. I think that's my plan. I'll watch him play it, but I'm probably not gonna buy it. Rebirth was fun, but I did not like the story. I liked the Super Chadley battles. That was my favorite part. I won't say what won, but there is a Chadley battle that took me several attempts. Was actually quite difficult because, you know me, I wasn't really looking up how to do it, so I was making up my own strategy there. And it was tough. It was actually pretty hard, so I respect that. Yeah, Queen's Blood is the best part of Rebirth, actually. Like, if they made just a Queen's Blood, I would buy that. I would buy a Queen's Blood, just dedicated game. If it existed, I would buy it for sure. That was very fun. Yeah, that's true. If there was something that would be fun to have in the Gold Saucer, Queen's Blood would be a great addition. Who knows? I mean, I guess if they're doing this Final Fantasy VII collab, the door's open, right? Surely we'll get Queen's Blood. Man, that's what they should have done. Instead of that, like, typing minigame, they should have just put in Queen's Blood. That would have been so good. Man, missed opportunity. That would have been a great addition to the Gold Saucer. Especially because, like, Queen's Blood is turn-based, right? Which I think the more turn-based things you can introduce to 14 is probably for the best, because you know, it's not the best netcode on the market, right? So if we got a minigame that was turn-based, that actually might be pretty good, you know? You don't have to worry about people's internet connections and netcode. It's like, it's just a turn-based, really good turn-based game. I liked Queen's Blood a lot, but I don't think it would be enough for me to buy Rebirth, or sorry, Part 3. I don't think it would be enough to get me to buy Part 3, but it was really good. It was definitely one of the better parts of the game. That's Mimic's site. Well, I guess we're going straight to them. Actually, no. I can leave the Mimics alone. I was looking at my map wrong. Oh, I got a Rage, though. Alright, just Fortune Rage. But still ignoring the Mimics. I don't have to fight them. They're the wrong way. Might have to step on that luring, we'll see. Yep. I should have just stepped on it, but whatever. I had to go back this way anyway, so I guess it's not really that much of a backtrack for not doing it first, because I need to get the Rage back. Wow. They've been dishing out the high kill counts. That was a post-beacon opener. I did not check this. Okay. Does not matter. I like emptying my intuitions just so that if I ever find an overcap one, I don't question what it is. I just know it's... Yeah, you know, I just pick it up. That's why I like getting rid of them. I'm just going to use a sight because this is a three-way. Okay. Nice. Good strength return. Do I have haste? Yep, I do. Definitely felt the difference there. I think I'm like just... These dragons just almost barely have enough HP where it actually makes sense to use wildfire. Like it dies on the GCD. Damn. They're chunkers. Please be enough. Nice. Knockback penalty? Do. Mimics again. That's okay, you know? I usually don't take the gamble, even on the low floors, if I am gonna basically risk getting pox. Just not because I'm scared of dying, but because of the damage down. But if you're on a job that has an interrupt, there's really no risk in using the altar. Yuck. I think that is a treasure room. Hopefully the exit's over here. It is. Nice. Got lucky. Might still have to pull something out of the treasure room, but that is preferable to having to go through it. Nope. Just get to go anyway. Nice. Oh. You're never too good for a raising. If I had a third sight, I would use it right now. Nice, found the exit. Ooh, very nice. Dude, dragons have so much freaking health. I'm gonna try to not fight the dragon. But I'll have to probably. Oh, there's that sight. Wait, it does have Queen's Blood? Really? I mean, yeah, that's not going to be enough to get me to play it, but if it is, I'm just happy that they realized how good Queen's Blood is, that they are going to add it to another game. I'm happy if they add it, because yeah, they did good on Queen's Blood. Altar, sure. Fortunately. Confirmed, popular Queen's Blood will return to the trilogy's third installment. Wow, nice. Alright. I respect that. Back by popular demand. Queen's Blood. Whoops. Definitely one of the better... Well, how many card games really are there, I guess? I guess there's actually not that much when I think about it, because 7 originally didn't have one. 8 had one. And then they just put that in 14. So they didn't really make a new game for 14. They just copied 8. 9 had one, and 9's is terrible. The card game in 9 is actually, like... I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't say it's terrible, but... It's, like... It is not meant to be... all skill. Like, there's luck involved, where even the best... It is possible for the best card to lose to the worst card. Which I think some people would find infuriating. I guess it just depends on what side of the fence you sit on that. But yeah, it's an interesting decision. I probably would not have made a game like that, but I at least respect the idea. But I didn't know that it worked like that for the longest time. I mean, to be completely honest, I really never knew how it worked when I was playing it. It was very confusing, but I was watching someone do a Final Fantasy IX speed run, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like, maybe I'll actually learn, you know, what the rules of the game are if someone's speed running it, right? Because they're going to try to get through their part as fast as possible. So maybe I'll see, you know, okay, like, you know, what's going on in, what is it called? Tetramaster, I think, for Final Fantasy IX. Like, all right, like, let's learn this. And I'm watching this guy play I'm watching him play Tetramaster. He's doing this speed run, and then he just quits because he, like, I had no idea, but then I saw his entire chat just go like, wow, that's so unlucky. And I'm like, I don't even understand what just happened. So then I decided to go look up the rules of Tetramaster, and yeah, it's like, it's not that complicated. I mean, it would be a little hard to figure it out if you were trying to figure it out by yourself. But what I read, which is definitely a little ridiculous, is that, yeah, you can play perfectly, like, you can make the right move 100% of the time and still lose, because, yeah, the strongest card has the potential to lose to the weakest card just by, like, how they calculate, like, the card encounters. So the game really ends up kind of more becoming like knowing that that is possible, and then just trying to set up like cascade kind of chain plays to get things going, instead of just trying to outright win every single fight. It's about winning, like, specific fights or, like, specific card encounters, whatever. Because, yeah, if the strongest can be defeated by the weakest, then you kind of have to have, like, another plan, right? So found that kind of interesting. I've never done a Final Fantasy IX speed run, but people definitely do it. And they made, there's been renewed interest in it, I guess. Because whatever he was like, I don't know, maybe it's been around for a while, I have no clue, but it was like a cutscene remover. So he was aiming for like a sub 4-hour time, which was previously impossible. So yeah, I don't really watch a ton of speedruns, but I was just kind of in the mood. I was like, you know what? I haven't seen one of these in a long time. What's this guy up to? So I learned about Tetramaster. Now this shouldn't do more damage, right? Because it's special type, but we'll see. Oh, it doesn't even matter. Mario and Zelda, yeah. I mean, it's kind of nice to watch shorter games like that, you know? Because you don't have to be there for like 4 hours straight watching the entire thing, right? And especially in a speed run, if you ever leave, when you come back, you're gonna have missed a lot. Proportion, you know, like it's a little different because like you can stick around for like a 4-hour stream, right? And it's like if you get up and walk away for a second, you're not gonna really have missed that much. But if it's a speed run, comparatively, if you get up and leave for like 15 minutes and then come back, like you've probably missed a lot of stuff. I think I've watched a Hollow Knight one. I don't really know anything about Silksong. I don't know if I'll ever play it. Who knows? Maybe I will. I won't write it off. I liked Hollow Knight a lot. But for whatever reason, I just wasn't really enticed to play Silksong. I don't know why, but I just never got the itch. But I played Hollow Knight really late also. I wasn't... Well... Actually, maybe I played it earlier than I think. I didn't know how big of a game it was when I played it. I just saw it. It was on sale, and I'd never heard of it before either. I was like, oh, this game looks kind of interesting, like kind of 2D, whatever. Like, it's on sale. Like, I'm just gonna get it, and like I'll just see what it's like. And it was going smoothly for a while, and then at some point, the game was just hard, and I went, I thought this was I thought this was almost like a kid's game. Like, this is so like, what the hell is happening? This game is so hard now. And then little did I know, like I ended up, you know, once I like finished my first playthrough of the game, I started like looking stuff up about it, and I was like, oh, okay, this game is supposed to be hard. I thought I was just bad at it. Little column A, little column A, or column B, probably, if we're being perfectly honest. It's probably bad at it, but it's also hard, okay? Kids' games are hard. I don't even disagree with that, because I played a lot of Super Nintendo games and a lot of NES games that were probably aimed at children, and they were quite difficult. The Soul Guy in the City of Tears. I'm trying to remember. I don't have a great memory of the game. I only played through it once. I never even went for like Steel Soul or whatever, all the challenge runs and crap. You know who played that game a lot and is pretty good at it is Ben Rice. Back when he was streaming more often, he would occasionally do some Hollow Knight speedruns. Like, he would just bust one out real quick, and I would watch him do that whenever I caught it. So yeah, Ben Rice is actually pretty into Hollow Knight. Is that a respawn? Yep. He's got the floating balls around him and slams the ground. Oh yeah. Yeah, Ben's got kind of a normal normal job schedule now. He still streams his 700-pound deadlift once a week. He still does that. But that's like kind of the most that he does these days. I know if he had the opportunity to, he would stream more often, but I'm under the impression that he's just pretty busy with stuff he's got going on. Yikes, I'm just gonna cite this. Okay, it's this way. Well, I guess I can check the chest at least. Every once in a while I can catch Ben's stream. I don't catch it every time, but every once in a while I'll hang in there for a little bit. Definitely doesn't have the hours that he used to have, especially the late night ones. He would be up so late. But those were the hours that I would watch him. He'd be up late. Which is kind of nice. I kind of like having the late night stuff, because usually that's, you know, I'm usually uninterrupted by whatever, so I can just kind of have it on and not, you know, not have to like tend to work or, you know, take my dog out or whatever, right? Are these the proximity ones? There's like 3 hippogriffs in this dungeon. No, these ones are sight. Okay. It's the next set is the proximity ones. Can you imagine, like, if there's that level of, like, what if they kept mobs the same? If the 191s were proximity, that would be rough. That would actually be quite difficult. I probably would have had to do a lot more clear attempts for a lot of the jobs. Like, there's probably a lot of runs that I would not have cleared if the hippogriffs were procs on 191. It would be quite difficult, because they're one of those enemies that it's basically rolling the dice if they kill you or not, if you don't have steel. Like, if you don't have steel on for pretty much everything except tanks, well, maybe some other jobs could get away with it. Like, machinists could get away with a no-steel hippogriff without rolling the dice, but some jobs definitely are rolling the dice when they're fighting hippogriff no-steel. Who's Ben? Yeah, to me, at 700 pound. Or, yeah, he does, so Ben Rice, I can try to give him a shout-out. Yeah, once this set is over, I'll try to give him a shout out. But it's Ben Rice. You might even be able to search that on Twitch. But he used to stream a lot. And he would always stream his workouts and stuff. But he's been doing a 700-pound deadlift once a week for years at this point. Like, he has a streak that he's just been trying to maintain. So, you know, he's not doing 700 pounds every day, right? But he just has this streak that he's trying to maintain of doing a 700-pound deadlift once a week, every week. And he eventually got into 14, and I saw him because he went for Necromancer, and he got Necromancer on Red Mage, and he streamed the entire process, which was really fun to watch. So he got Necromancer on Red Mage. He did like a warrior. He did some warrior runs too. And then he got super into raiding. So he put Deep Dungeon on pause. He got super into raiding after that. But yeah, cool dude. Just has been, yeah, his schedule changed, so he hasn't really been able to stream like he used to. But also he's been super busy with raid stuff. Because he joined the game in... I think he joined end of Shadowbringers. And then he got sucked into Deep Dungeon, right? So that put a lot of things on hold for the game. So then he got into raiding. So he has like a lot of raid stuff that he, you know, caught up on. And I think now he's doing the new one. So I think at some point he said he was going to get back into Deep Dungeon, but he just has a lot of 14 stuff on his plate that he's doing. Let's see. Yeah, we call him the world's strongest necromancer. That is his title. Because he is. Like, no one who has necromancer is competing with that. As far as we know. There is a rage. I'll probably use it. Pardon me, fellas. But yeah, that was a good late night stream for a while. Come here. I like the late night streams. Those are my favorite ones. There's this guy that I watch play Noita. That's a late night stream that I'll watch a lot. His name's Dunker Slam. That's a pretty good one. If you know of Noita or actually are interested in it, I definitely recommend his stream out. But it's pretty late. Like if you're East Coast, there's pretty much no chance you're gonna be able to watch his stream. Like he goes live probably, let's see, let me see what, he goes live probably like 3 hours from now. So yeah, if you're East Coast, rip, like you're not gonna get to watch that. Oh, I guess unless that's your schedule. I guess I shouldn't assume, because some people have night hours, you know. I always wanted to work. Well, actually, I don't know if I could actually deal working graveyard. It sounds like something I would like, but I think after a while, I would maybe get tired of it. I think my perfect shift would be like swing shift. I think that would be my ideal. Like start work at like, I don't know, 3 or 4. Get done at midnight. Go home, hang out for a little bit, go to bed. Like, yeah. Because then I could wake up and then have like, you know, the problem with my, like a normal 9 to 5 is like, it's really hard to do something before work. Especially if you like sleep. I mean, I know you could probably just try to rotate your schedule, but it just makes it get weird, you know? But if I didn't have to start work until like 3 o'clock, I could wake up and I could have like, you know, a full activity before I had to go to work. But I could maybe do that, but it would require being a little bit more independent, which is maybe not really something I feel like doing. I guess I could do it. I guess I just don't want to put the... I don't know. I don't want to have to go through all that crap. So I guess I don't value it enough to do it. If there was an easy way to do it, I guess I would do it. I am gonna check that chest. Unless the course turns at me. Alright, screw you, bro. Nice. Is this multi-stream still going? Yeah, it is. Nice. Okay. The multi-stream is nice because then I don't have to export it to YouTube. It'll just be there when I'm done. Which is the way to do it, because the YouTube export from Twitch is pretty annoying. Alright, this is kind of a load of crap. I could not shoot that guy. He was stuck in the wall. Well, wow. Dragon, get out of the lava pit, man. Never seen a mob exactly like that. Ah, an intuition. Deep Dungeon's bounty. Altar? Why not? I don't think I've had Corrigans once yet for all the altars I've used. The game knows. They're like, you're walking in here with an interrupt, we're gonna make you use it. You can do a vertical as well. I don't know if I would ever do a vertical. I feel like especially Deep Dungeon would be really hard to watch in a vertical orientation. Like, there's just way too much stuff on the screen. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that is the exit. I'll just rage. I don't have the patience. But so I don't disintegrate, we'll do that first. Yep, see? This is why you use the witching in these scenarios, because even if you're trying to be a little careful, you might end up pulling 3 enemies at once, which, you know, if you're a tank, that might be okay, but Frail Machinist and HP down is not going to do so well. Intuition and 3 silvers. Okay. Yeah, every single time I've tried, like, even just like messing around with like the clip things to put the clips that I already have like into a vertical layout, it does not look good. So I don't really know if I would ever try to do like a vertical layout, at least for Deep Dungeon. Maybe for other things it's fine, but for Deep Dungeon it just really doesn't look good. There's too much information on the screen, like you're eventually gonna miss something. You'd have to like move your palm window and everything just to like perfectly make it so everything could be on the screen, but at that point it's like you might have a harder time. Okay, I have to remember that I'm not a healer. I should still be able to one. Let's see if I mess this up or not. I don't have a raising, so. should have used a tactician, but oh well. Come on. Oh, shit. My steel is running out in 13 seconds. No! It tipped, right? Or did I not get the percentage right? I didn't get the percentage right. It's like 40 something. It's like right here. That's fine. I think I can just outrange the enemies and just stay alive. Or like just run around the whole time. I'm not using second reso. It's been a few. I didn't remember the percentage. But luckily, we have NASCAR, the power of NASCAR on our side. Just have to be careful when you're running to not get too far because of the doom cone. And there we go. Nice. That was what, like an hour 20 for 51 to 100. Not too shabby. Whoops. Oh yeah, I was gonna give Ben Rice a shout out. Let me see if I can find his name. Because yeah, if you're interested in the weightlifting part, he still does. Ben Rice, is it this? Yeah, it's this. He still does his 700 once a week, or sorry, yeah, once a week. So if you're interested in that, there you go. He's definitely the real deal. Wow, Silver City. It's all silvers. Okay. Luckily, the Yarzon are not sight, not rocks. That would definitely be an annoyance. Careful of Ricochet here. Nice. Oh, I'll get you. These are also sound, which is one of the enemies that I had no idea what their aggro type was. I assumed these were proximity. I think the entire time I was going for all of my first deep dungeon clears, I assumed they were procs, but they are sound. More silvers, I love it. Found the exit at least. only annoying thing about them is you have to kind of stutter step when you're fighting them because of their cast. Can't just go full send, run. Oh, as long as I have the Vuln, might as well fight this one too. Check these golds right after. Intuition. Witching back, that's nice. Grab this one. See if there's maybe a gold. There is. Dang, these kill counts are staying nice and high. Alright. Now you can run with me. Okay. Kind of a slow second floor. Oh man, that's the respawn. Okay. Not a huge deal, but did make me take the long way of the donut. I haven't had a donut in so long. I don't even know what donut I would want at this point. It's been so long since I've had one. My old favorite was definitely like a maple bar. It used to be like my original favorite. I think I'm more of a classic glaze guy at this point. Just a good old fashioned. Nothing fancy. No tricks. Just a good old fashioned donut. But I was very much a maple bar fan for a long time. I'm a little afraid to travel with that guy because I just don't want to get slapped if I turn into a toad. These Ziz have a very weird behavior where after they do this cone, they'll just stand there for a really long time. Even after they do it, I think it's just like the post, or it's like still a part of the animation, but never understood that. They'll do their cone attack and then they sit there for like kind of an extended period of time. Nice. Oh, I didn't really give myself a way to get out of here, did I? I'll just walk past the Yarzon. The Yarzon are scary. If you look right into their mouth, or like their face area, it's actually pretty creepy. YOLO? I would prefer to not fight this stag. Nice. No, you freaking jerk. Blind? I was gonna be mad, but then I got this song, so I can't be mad during this song. Squirrels are dangerous. We're gonna leave it alone. Alter. This is the return, so we haven't yet found our exit. Didn't miss reassembled drill. Life is good. Because that's a painful miss. There's a lot of misses you can take. And it's fine, but when you miss the reassembled drill, that's when it feels bad. Here comes Scamper. Although you can use arm's length here, and then it overwrites their slow, and then they have to recast it again. So it's kind of a good way to stun lock the squirrels. It hurts on another level. It truly does. Let's see if we miss. We got it. Oh, that's a respawn. At least I think it is. Nice. I'm going to use that on my way out. I'm going to try to beat it. Yeah, I was going to say. I was going to have to wait for it. It's just faster just to do this. See, watch this. The Ziz does its attack. And then it sits there, doing nothing. I don't know why. I guess it's just a part of its animation. I'm not sure, but it is a quirk. I'm actually going to wait to use this strength until the next floor. But I am going to use it. HP and sprint. The Zadnors do that as well. Interesting. Okay. That definitely kind of leads me into thinking that it is just a part of their, like, the attack animation. If they both do that, then yeah, that's pretty convincing. I just thought they were like bugged or something weird. Ooh, how's it drop? Safety? I love safeties. Safety is a very interesting palm, actually. What's Dawntrail's greatest hits? Dawntrail's greatest hits is me realizing that more might change in Evercold than we expect. And so I'm gonna do... I want to have video for all of the Dawntrail jobs that I think are the strongest in each role. Just to kind of have, you know, video of like, hey, this is what it used to be like. Because who knows, the strongest might change. Because SE's track record is just, you know, sometimes they change things and they don't tell us, right? And drastically. So what's strong today might not be strong tomorrow, so I kind of wanted to just get video of all of the strongest per role. So I figured I would start out with Machinist, and then the others are Warrior, Sage, Reaper, and this is the hot take. This is the one that I knew I would probably get a little bit of resistance of, but my pick for caster currently is Black Mage. Now, I did say if I don't clear on Black Mage, I will rerun on Summoner, but I'm putting my money on Black Mage. Yeah, that's kind of what I felt too. Like, I think it's just very strong. Like, I think it's very good. To the point where I would be willing to say it's the best caster in Palace. You can LOS this. Which it's pretty funny that you can LOS that attack because you just don't really have to. But it is something that normally we associate, oh, like Heaven on High is where you really have to LOS, which is true. The LOS is more important there, but that thing can hurt a lot. Like that Rhino attack can actually do a lot of damage. Especially if you have other enemies on you at the same time, like that can really hurt. So knowing you can LOS it is valuable. I'm Team Picto. See, I'm a Picto hater. And I'm not even going to try to hide it. Like, I'm very upfront about it. I am a Picto hater, so I can't really be Team Picto. I don't know. I've never been on Picto's team, so I'm not about to start now. If Picto 7.0 was still around, then I would be doing Picto. It's not like I liked it on 7.0, but I'm just saying that version of it was so strong. There is no way I could say, even with new Black Mage, like even new Black Mage does not compare with 7.0 Picto. That was the most busted job ever in Deep Dungeon's history. Yeah. Release Picto is definitely the most broken job there's ever been for Deep Dungeon. In 2 out of the 3. In Heaven on High, it wasn't really that impressive, but in Palace, it was broken, and in EO, it was broken. It was fun, though. I mean, that's the thing. Like, broken's not always bad. If it's fun, I don't really see the problem. But I'm not really into raiding that much these days. So I can understand why people who raid maybe would take exception to that. But I don't think broken means bad, by definition. For video games, that is. Like, if something is so strong, it's like breaking the game. I don't really think that that's actually always a bad thing. I think sometimes that's a good thing. Viper. Yeah, on release, it was such a stark contrast comparing Picto day 1 versus Viper day 1. It just felt like one of them they actually put effort into and wanted to be good, and the other one they were like, oh yeah, it needs to have a kit at level 60, huh? Well, I'll just give it like 2 buttons and we'll call it a day. Like, one of them was not built like the other, and it was not even close. The Viper damage is nuts. I will agree with that. Oh, come on. Don't make me fight you, Ladybug. Yeah, that's true. You don't really have a lot to press on Picto. I didn't realize, so I didn't know anything about it because I went in on day 1 and I was like, I'm just gonna do my own Picto run. Actually, it wasn't day 1 because I did MSQ first. Yeah, I did MSQ and then I did Picto. But I hadn't watched anyone play it yet, so I didn't really know what the hype was around it. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to learn some Picto. We'll see what happens. And I was like, I don't get it. Like, I had heard that people said it was strong, but when you start Palace, you're like, this job is stupid. Like, it doesn't do anything. All you have are these, like, you have one button. Like, this is basically like playing a healer. I was like, I don't really understand. Then I got, like, those, like, Moogle Palms. And I was like, okay, that did a lot of damage. I guess I can start to understand. Then you finally get your, like, Moogle laser beam. And I was like, yep, okay. This job is absolutely unfair for Palace of the Dead. Oh, wow. Huh. What was a weird LOS? Yeah, I just saw like little pieces here and there of people being like, oh, like Picto's so OP, Picto's crazy, all this stuff, but I hadn't watched anyone play it yet, so I didn't really get it. I was like, especially when I was starting my run, it didn't really make sense because you don't have anything on those early floors, but once you get to the laser, that's when you really felt the power level. I hate Picto in Heaven on High more than anywhere. It really just does, yeah, it really just doesn't shine in Heaven on High because it doesn't have anything. Summoner is just the best. Black Mage is even actually pretty darn good. It can handle anything. Well, it has Smudge, which is kind of crazy to say that that's one of the best buttons in the game, even without the sprint bonus on it, but it is. I really do think Smudge is maybe in competition for one of the best single buttons in the game, especially when you add in the haste buff on it, or not haste, sprint. When it gets the sprint buff, it's like, how could you not think that that's a good button? And it's up every 20 seconds. Like, that's what makes it so good. Like, I just don't I actually don't understand what their thought process was when they were making Picto. Like, I would love to be a fly on the wall in that room when they were making decisions about what Pictomancer should have in its kit. Because I think all they did was they just looked at everything a job could have, and they were like, oh yeah, we'll give it that. Yep, we'll give it that too. Oh yeah, it should definitely have that also. It's like, anything that a job... They didn't say no to anything. They didn't say no to anything that a job could do. That's Picto. Can it have raid utility? Yep. Can it have a shield? Yep. Can it have, like, can it have a movement ability? Yep. Can it have high burst damage? Yep. Like, sure. Whatever you want it to have, it can have it. I thought Greatest Hits Episode 1 means it's just a stream of the funny clips. It should be that. It should be that. But I don't have those, curated. I had no idea what the stream title meant. Yeah. Well, I did my job, I guess. Can it meet deadlines in a timely manner? Yep. Yeah. What can't Picto do? That's a shorter list, okay? If you want to know what Picto can do and what it can't do, you just tell me if you want the long list or the short list. It can't win the hearts of raiders. Yeah. I think a lot of people got mad at it. Picto can't duty fail. It's like that in PvP too. It just like, it has a button for like every scenario. It actually is kind of frustrating what everything it gets to have. That's just, I don't know. Should be like a lot of jobs, that's their like their hook, like the thing that kind of makes them unique, and Picto's like, oh, I get to do that too. It's like, all right, cool. You have that? I want to try it. It might not do it the best, to be fair, but it has, it at least has the button, which is a lot more you can say for, you know, more you can say for a lot of other jobs. I got forced into it for the first tier. Yeah, I think that's maybe why a lot of people had kind of a bad impression of Picto, is because I think a lot of people, yeah, had to end up playing it out of like, oh, this is the most, you know, OP job, we need to bring it into raid, right? Man, just wish this would be over. Almost. No one complains about job balance on my feed compared to past expansions. Yeah, I also don't really see it that much either. I feel like the crash outs that we were seeing were when jobs were getting changed. Like Black Mage, which I was also a part of that. Not because I was a Black Mage main in Raid, but because I liked Black Mage in Palace so much. So I was really upset when they changed it. But yeah, they really did a number on it. Uh-oh. I ricocheted. Well, it's crazy that you kill before that goes off. You're valid, everyone else is not. Okay, yeah, true. No abilities, Picto. It is a sore spot, but you know what? It has to be bad at something, right? So annoying to me and have it on high. I press subtractive palette every time I win on the key, so I had at least one strong. We were talking about this the other day. I don't think that they should have taken away the ability to click off subtractive. I think they should have kept that in. Like, they should have kept it in and then just adjusted potencies so that you weren't incentivized to do it. But I wish they kept it in because it was like a little fun. I never even did it because by the time I learned about it, they had taken it out. Because again, I wasn't watching people play Picto, so I didn't know it was something that you could do. But I learned about it afterwards, and I was like, man, that would have been kind of fun. Because it just gives you that option of like being flexible. So I feel like they shouldn't have taken it away. I think they should have just shifted the potencies around to not have you be incentivized to do it. Because we Deep Dungeoners really like flexibility above all else, right? Like those are the things that are fun. I actually didn't know if these were sight or not. If you told me they were sound, I would have believed it. They just look like sound enemies to me. Realizes I'm on subtractive and no paintings. Subtractive Petri is pretty bad. You're competing with Reaper at that point. For worst. Actually, is Monk the worst? Who's worse, Monk or Reaper? Because, yeah, for Petries, because you have to consider ideal scenarios. So let's say that you have a sighted or a let's say you have a sight or a safety going for your Petri. I think Monk is actually better than Reaper. Because Monk has more dashes, right? But if it's not a sight or a safety, Reaper has the option to get things from long distance that Monk does not. Reaper gets one whole instant cast. It's a 20-second cooldown, so you can potentially get two. Actually, that's true. It is instant if you use the dash. I didn't think about that. The targeted respawns this month are unhinged. Like, I have been seeing them all over this month. Like, especially in the last week or so. I think Sadie... No, Willows actually were also really good too. I don't know. There's actually some competition here. Because Sadie had a really bad one today. Sadie had such a bad one. It was so bad. But Willows were also pretty bad, but he was just in a position to be able to handle it. Sadie was not. Let's pull you while I go back to the chest. Well, I'll fight the frog. Not gonna leave this around to potentially kill me. Come on. Alright. Black Knight Shield is 2 minutes. But Pictos goes down to 1 minute if it breaks. Yeah. Yeah. I know. See? That's that's what I'm saying. When they were designing Picto, they were just like, what can a job have? What they did was they were like, okay, everyone, that's another targeted respawn. What they did for Picto was they had everyone sit at a table and they were like, okay, for this new caster, write down something that you think would be cool, and we're all gonna put our ideas into a hat, and then, you know, we're gonna pick the hat, we're gonna pick the things out of the hat to make the job. But instead they just put everything into the hat, and then they were just like, you know what, like, you all made your ideas though, like, it would be a shame to put any of them to waste, so we're just gonna use all of them. That's how they made Picto. Wait, what is that? An altar? We really don't want to exclude anybody's idea here, so you know what? Just dump all the ideas out of the hat. And if anyone has an extra idea, like, just throw that out too. Like, we'll add whatever you want. Let's have fun. Which explains why Viper is the way it is, because they ran out of all of their good ideas and goodwill. So then they just made a new... So then when they got to Viper, they were like, we have to make a melee now? Crap. What was the last melee we made? Reaper? Okay, just like, kind of make it like Reaper, but like a little bit different. But basically the same. Okay, we're done. Viper. It all makes sense. It all makes sense now. Let's see. Fortune? Sure. Put all ideas into the hat. Play Truth or Dare. They dared Yoshi P to just use... And Yoshi... What, you think I won't do it? You think I won't add all these changes to Picto? Okay, but how do you explain Viper then? Because with Viper, it feels like they kind of gave up on making a new job. Because it really just does feel like Reaper in Dawn. Like, it just feels like the Dawn Trail version of Reaper. An empty hat. Which is really a shame because, like, aesthetically, I think Viper is cool. Like, I like the aesthetic of Viper, but yeah, it really just doesn't... It just feels like a streamlined Reaper to me. Because Reaper is all about that in Shroud, and it's like Viper is all about blue mode. It's a better Reaper. Yeah, I guess that's true, but that's kind of what I mean is like it's more streamlined because you don't have to worry about building your, what's it called? Whatever, your gauge. Yeah, like Reaper has to care about gauge and Viper does not. So that's kind of what I mean is like, yeah, it's like it's a streamlined Reaper, basically. Well. Yeah, Uncoiled Fury is quite good, actually. What? Okay. If you want to understand how effed up some of the Palace of the Dead maps are, I'm hitting tab target right now. Do you see this? Do you see how I am tab targeting? I should not be able to see these. Some of these maps are so broken. I love it. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that as a derogatory thing. I love when things are broken like that in games. I love the jank. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Reaper is like, all right, let me try my Soul Silver 37 seconds real quick. I have 1 GCD. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, a lot of stuff is going to change in, a lot of stuff's going to change in 8.0. So, nice targeted respawn. 1,387 of this month. Kind of waiting for these snakes to show up, but haven't. Okay. Kind of been dilly-dallying a lot on this floor. Hope Evolve Jobs will change those issues a bit. I have faith that Evolve Jobs... Okay. My honest prediction of Evolved is that there will be a lot of people who are going to get mad. Which, it's Final Fantasy XIV. I mean, that's just kind of a given, you know? That's the free spot on the bingo board. But, hear me out. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are mad. That's a guarantee. There's going to be a lot of people who get mad at the Evolve Jobs. But I do wholeheartedly believe that the jobs will feel more unique and evolved than they do now. And my only basis for that is that I've played a lot of Crystalline Conflict, and I can tell you that all 21 jobs definitely feel like they have a unique place in the game mode. Like, all 21 jobs feel like they have like a very specific flavor and they bring a very specific thing to a team or a match. And seeing how the guy who was in charge basically single-handedly of Crystalline Conflict, from what we heard, is also going to be the same guy that's like in charge of Evolved. I am actually pretty optimistic that, I mean, who knows what the game is going to be like, but at least in terms of job identity, I think it will be an improvement. But obviously, we're going to have to wait and see. But I speculate that I think the jobs will probably feel better, which for me in particular, because I'm only going to really be doing Deep Dungeon, I don't even really care about how it's going to be in Raid. So I have that advantage of that, one, I don't have a main. I don't have a single job that I identify as like, this is my main job. There's no other job in the game for me. Like, I love this job. I don't have that. I've never had that. So in some ways that's kind of a blessing, because I've never been completely like, you know, heartbroken when a job got changed, because I'm like, yeah, I mean, I just play whatever, so if a job changes, it's not really a big deal to me. So, but I do think that they did a good job with the Crystalline Conflict jobs, so I have high hopes that the jobs will at least be unique. I'm not going to say good or bad or whatever, but unique. That I have at least pretty high hopes that they will feel different from each other. Reaper's the poster child of Evercold. I assume it'll be a lot different. Maybe. I don't get the thought process behind making a Fizz ranged, but I do believe every role should have an easier one. Yeah, it is kind of interesting what their decision is there. Of how they were like, oh, we're gonna make damage full movement for healer, or at least white mage, which is all we really have to go off of at this point. So maybe healer's inappropriate, but I would assume they'd be the same. So damage is gonna be mobile, but your healing is going to be stationary, like is going to be your slide casting, right? That's kind of the impression that I think they were trying to show there, which is interesting. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really change for us that much because we're used to casting GCD heals in Deep Dungeon every once in a while, right? You know, it's something that you still want to avoid, but if anything, I do definitely see healers in Deep Dungeon getting easier as a result of evolved design philosophy, because if your damage is full mobile, it's like yeah, I don't know. Are we just gonna have a bunch of like mini machinists running around in Palace of the Dead now? Like, it's gonna be interesting because you won't have to heal as much, because we all know how effective NASCAR is. Like, Machinist is not a healer, but it does incredibly well in Deep Dungeon because it doesn't, it never has to sit still. So I'm quite interested to see how healers are going to turn out in Evolved, because I think they're all about to get a pretty massive buff by having full mobility damage. Currently, that'd be Warrior, White Mage, Summoner, Dancer, Reaper, Viper. What I do find weird is that they force MT. Yeah, we'll see, because anytime I feel like they've tried doing that in the past, it actually still never worked. Because back in ARR, Paladin was with the one with the shield, but you know who the main tank was in ARR? It was Warrior. Like, Warrior has been the main tank of this game for its entire history. Warrior is always the main tank. So I'm kind of curious if them even trying to like force it as a role is even going to matter, or is Warrior still going to find a way to be the main tank? Well, I mean, and the other thing too is I guess they kind of just shifted away from that mentality a lot, and they're just like, well, you're gonna tank swap, right? Like, it's been a really long time, and I honestly don't even know if they ever brought it back, of having this idea of like a main boss and like an ad slash kind of like sub boss at the same time, right? Like, when was the last time we had something like that? Alexander? Like, that's just not really something that we've really had in the game for forever. Like, that's such a like kind of like old school kind of MMO notion, right? Of having like one target for the main tank to hold aggro on, and then another target for like an off tank, right? Like, we don't have that in this game. Maybe they're gonna add it. I mean, maybe that's what they're trying to, like, maybe they're trying to set up to get to that point where there's going to be a tank, but at the same time they're so against job exclusion. I don't know. I don't see it being a big deal. If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't see it being a big deal. Like, they are so against job exclusion in the game. I do not see a world where you can't clear the fight on every tank combo. Even if it's like an ultimate or whatever, I don't see them designing it where they force jobs. But we'll see. Not having a main. Yeah, that's me. I'm only going to be mad if they don't let us use Evolved in DD yet. Everyone will be invincible during sprint floors. Yeah, sprint floor is a free win button, or free win enchantment. And Shadowbringer's Paladin was the off tank because its damage scaled off its current HP. Yeah, it was forced into not being... It was forced because, yeah. I don't really, let's see, main tank currently has the best team mitts and range stance. Okay, square. I don't really understand the whole designated MTOT thing. Not that it matters to me. So I tank everything regardless of job. Yeah, same. I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm probably never going to really run into main tank and off tank discussions, but I don't know. I am curious to see what happens, even if I'm not going to participate in it. I think it's just going to be PFers getting mad only because only MTs have parries. So you lose free damage if you bring 2 off tanks. Interesting. Yeah, I guess we'll see what they do. I mean, it would have been nice if they gave us like just like a little bit more of a job showcase. I was really actually kind of disappointed that we didn't get any more jobs revealed at the last keynote. That was like the one thing I was looking forward to, is maybe seeing more jobs. So we're gonna have to wait. I can already see people getting kicked from PFs because they're on Reborn and not Evolved. Honestly, yeah, like I am not envious of the PF life in the near distant future, because it does seem like it's going to be pretty annoying. Or jobs that have raid buffs and Reborn getting kicked because they play Evolved. Yeah, that's something I'm wondering about too, is like, if they're saying that the job doesn't change at all, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. That's why I was really in disbelief for the longest time, that I thought that Reborn was going to be the same as Evolved in like basically its entire function, but you would just have extra buttons. Like, that was my first interpretation of how they explained Evolved, because I was like, how are they going to, like, are they really going to make themselves try to like balance, well, not balance, but like have 2 systems coexist that are actually not the same? So instead of having 23 jobs, does that mean that they're actually having to consider 46? Like, did they just double the amount of work that they had to do? Because if they did, like, guys, I think you kind of screwed up a little bit. Like, guys, I really like the direction of Evolved. Like, I like the idea of shaking the game up, because I do think it's gotten really stale. But please don't tell me that you just doubled the amount of work you had to do, because I think there's a better way. Because when I first interpreted Evolved as like, look, here's Reborn. It's how you've been playing the game. We're really not getting rid of it, but we're doing these Evolved kits. But if you want to have the extra buttons and all the crap, you can play on Reborn. But if you want the simplified, kind of like streamlined version, you can play Evolved. But it sounds like they're actually going to be different. Like, they actually might not even have the same buttons in them, which, again, I hope that they did not just double their job load, basically. But we'll see. And yeah, it doesn't really matter to me too much because I'm just going to be playing solo deep dungeon, so it's not going to really affect me too much, but it doesn't mean it can't affect other people. I just think it's better to play every job evolved because after Evercold it will be gone anyway. Yeah, the thing that made me decide, because I was gonna, you know, maybe be more open to whatever. I mean, if something was good on Reborn, I would play it, or if it was like interesting. The thing that kind of made me not be excited about Reborn at all and just being like, okay, I'm full team evolved now, is when I heard that the so you know how they're going to be adding basically like the full kit to evolve jobs by basically level 50, right? Like by level 50 you more or less have a quote-unquote full kit. Reborn is not doing that. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, so yeah, I'm not ever probably playing Reborn ever again because like, you know, I want to have the AoE in Palace by level 50, right? Like, I want that. But apparently Reborn is not getting it. So, goodbye Reborn. I am team evolved now. Makes me wonder how comically large the expansion patch notes will be. Yeah, seriously, right? Like, if they're actually going to maintain Reborn and Evolved, like, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm really curious about. So I guess we'll see. I don't know. But if Evolved has AoE below level 50, that's where I'm at. Or sorry, yeah, like whatever has AoE sooner, that's the one I'm going to be playing. You don't like, yeah. No, Dragoon is the pinnacle of AoE design. Everyone loves Palace Dragoon for its expansive AoE. Probably ignore the bees on this round. We'll see. Yeah, 3%. We're good. Be funny if some Reborn plus Evolved comps actually can't clear a Savage fight. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that there will be some combos that just like, if the people are not performing at like, you know, 100% ability that they can't clear. I wouldn't be surprised because I mean that was Abyssos, right? Like, this is another one where I generally get people rolling their eyes at me or thinking that I'm wrong or stupid, which is fine. But I am definitely of the opinion that Abyssos was not as bad as people say that it was. It's just that people realized that people were confronted that they maybe were worse at the game than they thought, because people were clearing it. It was difficult. Was the balance maybe not like as nice for some comps? Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to say that it's an all or nothing thing, but I saw some really bad comps clear week 1 Abyssos. So to say that it was 100% a balance issue, I actually think is a little disingenuous. I think that a lot of people just kind of got a wake-up call because we hadn't had a tight DPS check in the game for years, honestly. Like, I actually can't remember the last tight DPS check that was before Abyssos. It was probably like... honestly, it was probably Alexander again. Like, the last time the game probably had a tight DPS check was like Alexander. And so people just got comfortable. They thought they were good at the game. And then we had a Savage tier that was actually incredibly close to clear week 1. Like, it was very tight. But it's like, look, good teams did it. Like, good groups cleared week 1. So that's all I'm trying to say. Did your comp make a difference? Yeah, it did. But both of those things can be true. So, yeah. That's my take on it. I had a lot of people get mad at me for that take, but I think it's the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts, you know? But it is what it is. It's true, I was world first Alexander. Were you really? Look, I'll believe anything. I wasn't really, like, actively paying attention to the game in that era. Just JK. I was like, shit, alright, tell me the details. Like, I wasn't really paying attention a lot. I just know that the DPS checks were actually tight for Alexander back then. Started in Stormblood, yeah. Stormblood was good. The first raid was not that tight at all. It was one of the easier ones, but after that, Sigma and Alphascape I liked a lot. But yeah, I definitely would not be surprised if we get to Evolved and then there's just like combinations that just like for whatever reason end up being really weak. And if you're not playing at like peak performance, you're not going to clear. Like, you're not going to meet the DPS check. So, because that really is kind of where the Abyssos thing, like, that's where Abyssos really showed up, was just like, yeah, like if you were on a better comp, you had an easier time. Which is true. And like, I don't know. I also just don't really see a problem with that, but what do I know? I would rather play a game where it forced you to get better if you wanted to win. Like, instead of having devs nerf and buff. Like, I don't know. It's such a, like, it's such a multi-tiered problem is the thing. Because here's the thing that I'm sympathetic to, okay? I understand that if you're trying to get gear in this game, that it's a pretty awful process, and it looks like they're really putting in a lot of effort to try to make that better in Evercold. So it's like, if you're on a static schedule and you don't clear week 1, like, every week that you miss is another week that you have to keep going, right? So I'm sympathetic to that. So I understand that a lot of people's frustration of not clearing week 1 of Abyssos is kind of around that, right? Where it's like, if you only had to clear the tier 1 time, and like, let's say you had a full gear unlock after only clearing it once, I'm not sure as many people would have complained. Because the expectation is just like, once you clear it, you're done, right? So who cares if you don't get it week 1? But a lot of people put a lot of importance on their week 1 clear. And I think there's like kind of it's a multi-tiered problem. Like, there's a lot of reasons why you kind of want to really get that week 1 clear. Oh man, all that for an intuition. Kind of miss. Yeah, Stormblood was just a good time. I liked Stormblood a lot. I think as far as like expansions go, I think Shadowbringers is still my favorite. Like, overall, like, story and gameplay. But Stormblood is definitely right underneath it. I like Stormblood a lot. In Abyssos, some people reset if nobody crit during the opener. Yeah. I believe it. It was very tight. I would prefer to not have to kill everything in this room. Nice, okay. But yeah, I don't know. I would prefer to play the game where they don't nerf and they don't buff. If you need help, you get gear. And if you think that you don't need help and you just want to get better, then that is what you do. Like that. That is the video game I would like to play. Not the one where people are upset and so then a fight gets nerfed and then it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. I think the only time that you should ever adjust a fight is if it's like basically mathematically impossible. Like if it gets revealed that like, oh yeah, even if you guys play perfectly, there's no way to do it. That's like the only time that I think it's acceptable to like nerf a fight. Because otherwise, like there's a natural nerf in the game because it's called gear, right? Like if you were just, like let's say you were having like 1% in rages week 1. Well, you just got 1 week worth of gear, so next week you're probably not going to get it. So if you're focused on, you know, getting the fight done, then gear will help you. But then if you just want the original challenge the whole time, then just keep your week 1 gear for the entire thing, you know? That's what I would like. I would prefer if the game was like that, but it does not seem that a lot. I don't think they would make very many people happy if they never adjusted anything, so I guess I understand. But I think that there is some value to preserving challenge. Which is actually kind of funny because when you think about it, they say that about Ultimate all the time. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, we're not going to let you level, what is it called? You're not going to be able to unsync Ultimate because we want to preserve the challenge, right? We're not going to let free trial people into Ultimate because we want to preserve, I don't know, the sanctity of Ultimate, whatever their reasoning was, right? So it's like they put Ultimate on such a high pedestal. So I understand that they are aware of like this idea of kind of like preserving a content, right? In like a challenge level. But I just don't understand why they couldn't do that for like more parts of the game. Which I guess just means like the savage fights, but because at least for us, they've never intentionally, well, I think there was one time actually. I didn't experience it, but apparently the beginning of Shadowbringers Deep Dungeon was like borderline impossible except for tanks, basically. Like the amount of damage was enough where you would just get like any enemy, I think was just like a one-shot crit or something for like a DPS. I didn't confirm that myself. I didn't really start doing Deep Dungeon until like mid Shadowbringers, but apparently like very early Shadowbringers release, if you were not playing a tank, you were not clearing. But so maybe that was something that was worth changing, but I would have preferred, I would have liked to have just experienced it just to see in its broken state what that would have felt like. Because naturally too, just like, you know, the more time you're going to spend on something, like if you're actually like focused, you know, and trying to get better, you will get better at it. So that's why I really just don't agree with nerfing content. I think I never think it's a good idea unless it's mathematically possible, like impossible where it can never be done. That's like my only exception. Tanks are the ultimate cheat code. They really are. I think in every single Deep Dungeon, yeah. Like Chank. The only one where I really... Well... Man, this is tough. The Machinist versus Warrior debate, I actually think is a pretty valid... Well, you know what? Here's the interesting part, too. I think you can even throw in Sage into the ring for Palace of the Dead. Not for everyone. Not for everyone, because as we saw, Healer Week has been, or not Healer Week, Healer Month has been pretty brutal for people. But as to be expected, healers are difficult. But once, like, I don't know, just all the crazy runs that we've watched Aurora do on Sage, there are moments where I'm like, could Warrior do that? Could Machinist do that? Like, I don't know, you know? So I even think that we could maybe even throw Sage into that conversation of like, who's the actual #1 Palace job? Usually we just throw it between warrior and machinist, but like, I don't know, just like all of the runs that I've seen Aurora do on Sage, I'm just like, I don't think machinist would have won there, or like I don't think that warrior would have won there, you know? So it's interesting. Tanks can survive. Yeah. Oh, and EO for sure. It's like, yeah, like once you kind of know what you're doing, it is nice to be like, oh yeah, just like play a DPS. But like, especially when you're new to a deep dungeon, I mean, tanks are so good because yeah, you can survive mistakes, and at the end of the day, you have to survive to clear the deep dungeon. So anything that helps you survive is definitely an advantage. Aw, fuck. Actually, this is fine. EO tanks are kind of cheeks. They're not great in the beginning. Later, they're good. Like, the beginning of EO tanks really are not great. But once you get to 31, EO tanks are pretty solid. Like, you can get away with some really good stuff that DPS cannot get. The only thing that tanks have going against them in EO, for me, is that you basically have to demi-clone bosses. That's it. Like, that is the only thing. Well, and the early game of tank is bad. Like, 110 tank is stupid. I hate 110 tank. But like, once you get past that, and then once you get into the higher floors, it's actually, they're so solid. The only downside, and this is a scoring context, you have to demi-clone bosses, basically. Like, you will almost probably never get to a boss in time if you're doing a score run and not demi-clone. Like, you pretty much have to, so. And DPS don't. Hey, Genex. It's going alright. Doing a little machinist run here. I'm trying to get footage for all of what I think the top jobs are of each role in Dawn Trail before they all potentially disappear, so starting that project today. Assuming I clear every single run, we'll have 4 more runs after this one, but who knows? I could fail any of them. I'm not going to check that. I get very worried over how long it takes tanks to clear a floor boss, a floor boss late into a file. Yeah, that's a real thing. So it's like in Palace of the Dead, I think in Heaven on High, I think it's pretty difficult to not argue tank because the damage is that much higher. And on top of that, tank damage at level 70, for whatever reason, just feels like the best comparatively. Like, level 70 tank damage compared to like the other roles, for some reason, just seems the best to me. Like in Palace of the Dead, you definitely feel that difference of like, oh, I'm playing a tank. Like, I have tank damage. And you definitely feel it in EO and PT as well, where you're like, yep, I'm playing a tank. But in Heaven on High, for whatever reason, it just feels solid to me. Like, the damage just seems good. So the extra survivability on top of that, I think just makes tanks... I think tanks are very much a clear winner in Heaven on High. But in Palace, I really think you could make an argument for Machinist or Sage to take Warrior's spot as, like, #1. But it's all subjective, obviously, but in general, that's kind of how I feel about it. Because, yeah, like, that is definitely the things that kind of, like, struggle with, or, you know, people will struggle with time on Warrior, right? And you're probably not going to die, but it is very much possible that you don't get to the boss in time. So, because you do have tank damage here. In tank damage derogatory, but in Heaven on High, it's tank damage complimentary. Like, it's good in Heaven on High. Yeah, they're so good in there. I really feel like that's the peak of tank deep dungeon, is Heaven on High. I really would like a couple gold chests. I would like a strength back, and I would like my reso back as well. Oh, man. Don't see me. Sweet. See if I step on another trap. I did, but it's not alluring. Oh, man. Let's see if I can spin. No, I don't have time. I'm already going to be out. Affluence? Affluence is good. Where are you looking? Okay. There's no way. There's no way that was in the cone. Okay. Well, this surely will be enough kills at this point. And this is a steal, so get a nice little refresh on the way out. Just had to make sure. This might aggro. I would prefer it didn't. Nice. 2 more floors. I really would love to get at 3rd strength back, because I want to use it on the boss. I'll go down to 1 strength, but I just like having 2 in my inventory the whole time. It's just the type of person I am. Because I do not like this boss, so I will strength lust it. This boss isn't particularly dangerous. I've definitely seen, myself included, people space out on it, and then you forget that you have to run in for the thing. I've definitely seen that happen to people, and myself. But for whatever reason, this boss is the one that really makes me want to stop playing the game, so I always strength lust the 130 boss now. I'm gonna hold on to the gauge for the next enemy. That was a steal. Oh, alright. Didn't realize I was close enough to you there, but that's fine. Oh, this was flighted. I forgot. Let's see if I can grab this and not... Yeah, we're good. Oh, fortune. That might give me a strength on the next floor. If I was really desperate, I would actually go check all the chests. I'm on Machinist. It should be fine. It would just be nice to have the chests back, but I'm not going to go out and explore for them. That's for later. We're still in time-saving mode. Let's see. Sight. Don't forget to fortune. Alright, I'll go this way first just to check the chest. Oh, got a safety back. That's nice. Dang. I should have let the robot do one more attack. Another safety. Classic. I'm going to strength. I'll do it after this enemy, I think. Well, no, I need to drag another enemy here, because that might not be enough kills. Let's do strength now. It might not be there for the entire boss, but that's fine. I'd rather get value on the floor and the boss instead of not really, you know, getting full value out of the strength. I'd rather use it here as well. Alright. I assume this will be enough. This plus the enemy on the exit. Oh, I have this Skatine as well. Now I'm gonna get a +1. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I did need it. Watch this also not be enough. Get the max kill. Okay, it was enough. Okay, open with the lust. And then I can't use lust anymore because what if I get the super unlucky run where I never find the lust back and then I have to 0 lust behemoth? I think you can 0 strength behemoth, but I don't think you can 0 lust behemoth. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe no strength but lust is possible, but not the other way around. Because lust is going to be, what, 50%? Strength is only 30 or something. So it's definitely a noticeable difference. Time for NASCAR. I'm actually kind of curious what the boss time would be for 190 if you had 0 lust. Can you do that in 1 strength steel on Machinist? I have no clue. I really do not play. I don't really play or watch even people do Machinist that often. It's weird. I've only really seen like one person in the, well, I guess 2 people. Because I know Radiant has been working on Necromancer. And then Lonely Necro has also been working on it on Machinist and Warrior. So I guess I know 2 people who have been trying to work on Machinist recently. But I don't see a lot of Machinist Palace these days. Oh, he got it? Nice. I'm glad to hear that. He was getting really close, so yeah. It was definitely any run. He was really getting close. Well, that's good news. I'm glad he got it. And done. Okay, well, let's just keep going. We're making decent time. we've been live for what? Like 2 hours, 45 minutes or so? We started at 51. We're almost at 140. That's pretty good. Ooh, easy. It's not speed run worthy time, but it's not slow. I guess I could use my last strength. Because you only need one or the other for 140. You need a strength or a steel. You don't need both. One will get the job done. I'm standing here because this doesn't have AoEs and I'm not going to step on a frog. Okay. An altar that will contain the treasures I see. I'm telling you, the respawns are just out of control recently. The respawns are out of control this week. They updated the game's code. They improved the respawn tracking algorithm. Sprint penalty. Intuition. Not really my type of pawn. Let's get the patrol first. We'll get the next patrol after, I guess. Northhorn. It all makes sense. Yeah, this is gonna be what keeps you on top of your respawn timer. Another intuition. The game is telling me to use intuition. I should listen. Intuition's clogged up the vending machine, so we gotta get it unstuck. Fortune, okay. Affluence, I was actually just about to use one, so that's good timing. So I realized I was sitting on 3 and complaining about not having strength, so you know, it was in my power to somewhat affect that outcome. Alright, there's the exit. All of these are sound, but I need something to fight on the way back anyway. Actually, I don't think I'm going to run back, because it was just the mimics there and an intuition. I'll just fight here and leave. Assuming I can. There's one more enemy here. I am still trying to move at a somewhat decent pace out of these floors. We haven't missed a speed run yet. Nice. Next four is affluenced. Maybe we'll find a strength. Rage is also fast. It's not a strength, but it's fast. Use a fortune. Careful here with the procs. Alright. Okay, nice. I found the trap. Dang. I should have checked the room on the side there, but we'll see what happens. If it's not this, then it's the other room. Yep, it's the other room. Okay. I'll start checking stuff now. Lust is good. That's actually really nice. Peace of mind. So now I have one for Behemoth and one for Godfather if I never find one again. Purity is there. I'm gonna go back and get the Rage. This way was safe. If I get a third Lust, I will use it on the 150 boss. But if I only have two when I get there, I'm not going to use one. I even said that the other side was safe, and I still just decided to go the other way anyway. I don't think I checked this one. The chest in the middle is the Purity. Nice, triple lust. Okay, well, we can lust the 150 boss now. Check that last gold. And then we'll skedaddle. I actually might use another affluence. Witching. I saw you. I would just be pretty happy to get a strength. Raising, already have one, but I appreciate it. Gonna sit still with this. This would not be a fun one to get frogged on. Alright. Let's see. That could be a dead end, so I'm gonna go check it. And there's a chest, which is nice. It's a mimic. Alright, got another chest in here. Mimic is allegedly, which I will usually agree, a higher chance at loot. Which could be the strength that we're looking for. Survey says, waiting for 8 seconds. Purity, okay. Please don't see me. Raising. Wow, 2 raisings. But no strength. Okay, nice. Missed both of the patrols. That's actually really good timing. Exit is past this way, so I'll grab this patrol. Ooh, another gold. Lust. Man, who would have thought that strength is the rarest palm? Not me. Ooh, got the rezo back though. That's really nice. Okay. That's another one to check off the list of caring about. Probably should have waited for reassemble, but whatever. This is the life I chose. But now I'm ready for the next enemy. But I don't have to. Let's empty these intuitions. Need to unclog the machine. Two for one? Nope. I'll get that patrol next. Here it is. Wait. Huh? Oh. For some reason, when I looked at this room first, I thought it was not a T. Someone just joined a link shell I'm in. I haven't seen something like that happen in forever. That was weird. I didn't know what that was. Other people play this game? There's a world outside of Palace of the Dead? Crazy. I should be able to slip by. Yay! Probably gonna use it. Well, I'm kind of like almost already off this floor, so I might use it after this floor. I might use it on the 6th floor. Unless I get a 3rd one here, in which case I'll just rip it automatically. It's a flight. Ooh, nice. If this flighted floor does not have enchantments on it, I will use a strength. Well, depending on what the enchantment is. So like if it's gloom damage down, I don't really care about wasting my strength on that. So I'm gonna wait and see. There could be gloom, but there's no enchantments. Okay. Witching. Damn it. I wanted to check that. Because if it's a rage, I don't want his strength. Because I don't like wasting. It's a flight. Ooh, thank you very much. Alright. Well, then I'll definitely strength now. I'm gonna try to dodge this Aramon. Another chest. This is gonna fight me probably. Another flight. That's redundant, but it's fine. Just means I could have used more flights getting up to this point. I have to fight this because it's procs. I'm telling you, the respawns are out of control. That is like the fourth, I swear, like the fourth or fifth time this stream where I've walked into a room and instantaneously gotten the respawn. I'm telling you, it's more than a conspiracy. It's real. The targeted respawn is real. Oh, affluence too. I'd like to get another strength. I'm also gonna check this and hopefully not get... Okay, well, it can't aggro me now. Lost. Okay. Oh, yes, I got this song again. Jackpot. This is one of the songs in my FC house that I made. Witching. I'll just leave this room alone. Well, I gotta get one of these patrols. Uh-oh. There's a raid during level 5 Petrify. It's Angelus. Oh, that must be late. Crap. Yeah, it must be late. What's up, dude? How was your reclimb tonight? Thanks for the raid. Hope it went well for you. Oh my. This floor is flighted. That's the only reason why I'm mad. Alright, gather up. What the hawk? I'm doing alright. Still alive. Nice. PB-ish. Good to hear. I had an idea this morning where I realized that we're in this spot where basically a lot of the way that we think about Deep Dungeon really could change in terms of job strength in Evercold. So I'm calling this my greatest hits of Dawn Trail series. So I want to just get footage of all of the quote-unquote best jobs per role. Because I don't have a machinist run, I don't have a warrior run, like I don't have a sage run or a reaper run, so I kind of want to get all of these just recorded, and just so I have them, so when we want to go back and reminisce, we can be like, remember when warrior was the best, or remember when sage was the best, because who knows, it might change, right? Especially with evolved, like what we think is the best is really could be different in 8.0, so kind of just want to... Nice! I got my strength. Kind of want to get the greatest hits on video, just to have a record of them before stuff changes. So that is what I started tonight. So assuming I clear every single run, then we've got 4 more to do. But as always, thanks for the raid, and I'm sure you've got to get headed to bed at some point, so feel free to drop out whenever you need. I will be here for a bit longer. We're actually doing pretty good on time. Because yeah, we started just 3 hours ago, basically, and we started on 51, and we're almost at 140, so that's actually pretty decent. But it is Machinist. I mean, let's be real. It is Machinist. Healer Instacast is going to go so crazy. That's what we were saying, Henry. Like, I really feel like every single healer is about to get a glow up in 8.0. Like, I don't think it's gonna have the same. I mean, I don't know. It'll probably still be lower damage, relatively speaking, but having full mobility and able to do your damage the entire time is so strong in here that I can't see how healers wouldn't be better in 8.0 evolved than they are now. Like, I assume every single healer is going to be better than it is currently, just because it will have the ability to do damage and move the entire time. That is so powerful in Deep Dungeon, so I would be quite surprised if any healer was worse off because of that. Which one will be best, I guess, remains to be seen. Especially if they're getting rid of party buffs, that means that they don't have to adhere to this, like, White Mage and Sage have to be higher damage than Scholar and Astro, right? Like, if they're going to shake that up, it really means that, like, any of the healers could be the highest damage. So, the other thing, too, which actually I didn't think about until we started talking about this now, I know they're not going to do it because they hate dots, but if they're getting rid of party alignment, dots can come back. Like, sustained damage jobs can make a return, because the reason why they were killed is because of 2-minute meta, basically, right? Like that fight design of everyone sinking buffs into burst. If that's gone, you can bring the sustained jobs back. Arrow 3. Exactly. Arrow 3, Shadow Flare, Miasma. What was the Bard one called? The one on the ground. Was it Burning Arrow or something like that? Bard had a ground target as well. Don't get my hopes up. No! I know, right? Like, I would love for them to do it, and they have every excuse to do it at this point. But we'll see if they end up doing it, because they spent the last several expansions getting rid of dot jobs, unfortunately, and sustained damage. But who knows? I mean, I think they have an excuse to throw dots back in. Aether Drain, it was not a dot, but what you did have back in the day was my favorite button of all time on Scholar, which actually they have in Frontline now. Or they... Actually, wait, did they get rid of it? Wait, did they get rid of Bane? Anyway, it was Bane. Bane was so cool. You could spend your points, your charges on Bane, so you would dot one target and then Bane spreads it to every target around it, right? So you did have Bane, which was awesome, but they unfortunately got rid of that. But who knows? Maybe it can come back someday. Waiting for 14 to finally have their version of Warlock. That's what I've always heard of that. I never played, but I've always heard it's like, hey, if you want to experience some cool stuff, you go to Warlock. Shadowbringer Summoner will continue to be my favorite flavor. Yeah. Yeah, they had dots too. I forgot about that. Scholar PvP has some version. I just remember it got nerfed at some point. Or changed? Can't remember. Ah, yes. I will flight the boss. Thank you, game. Okay, I want to hurry a little bit because I have 2 minutes of steel. I have just enough time to kill the boss. Go, 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 go. I only need 45 seconds. We're going to be cutting it close here on this steel. Honestly, super excited for these changes. I am excited too. Well, we were talking about it earlier, where it's like, I don't really have a strong attachment to any single job. So I know there's people that are going to be upset that their job got ruined or changed or whatever, but I feel fortunate because I don't have that attachment. So it's like, yeah, I can do what, like, I'm ready for whatever. Like, I am ready for, like, whatever crazy thing they want to cook up. I'm here for it, you know? I might not get this one. We'll see. Those bugs. I just do this when I steal it. You probably could just kill the boss, but I just do that when I do a steal only version. Because we're definitely going to kill it before the next one. There's no doubt about that. Because if they're not dead, they will kill you here. Guaranteed. Yay. Let's see. Honestly, oh yeah, I will miss Red Mage, but I already switched off of it, so I just hope there's a job I do like. Again, I think maybe this is me just being optimistic because I don't have a strong attachment to a job, but I really have high hopes that the jobs are going to feel good. If you walk in with an open mind, which I know is difficult to do. Look, I'm the last person who I've had some very strong opinions, so I get it. But I think if you walk in with an open mind to 8.0, I really think that there will be a job for everyone that they can find interesting. Because I trust in the job design of Crystalline Conflict. Because to me, all the jobs feel interesting and unique there. So I have no reason to think that that same like level would not be brought to PvE. Never seen me optimistic. Well, like I said, I think I trust in the Crystalline Conflict job design. Are there problems in Crystalline Conflict? Oh yeah, there are. But do I think that the overall like design of the jobs is better than our current PvE ones? I really do. The PvE jobs are not as interesting to me as the PvP ones. The PvP ones are, I don't know, they just seem better. They're more, oh nice, a rage. They're more unique to me, and they just stand out more. So I am hopeful. I think that Evolved has a pretty good chance to probably feel satisfying. Of course, there will be people that don't like it, of course. Like, especially the more attached you are to a job, the more likely it is that you're probably going to hate it, which is fine. That's just the way it is. But I have high hopes, personally. Serenity? But keep in mind, I'm keeping the scope of my optimism very narrow. Like, I'm keeping it very honed in on just the job design. Like, all the other stuff, yeah. I'm maybe not going to be the biggest champion of Evercold content, but the job design, I have high hopes for that. I do think that when I go in on day one of Evercold into Palace of the Dead, on whatever job I decide to do, I think I will have fun on it. Even if we steamroll Palace, that's not really Evercold's or Evolved Mode's fault. that will be a deep dungeon issue at that point, right? Like, I'm not, if Palace of the Dead gets steamrolled by evolved jobs, I'm really not going to lament it, because it's like, look, this content is like over 10 years old at that point. Like, it is inevitable, right? Like, it is an inevitability that at some point, like, you know, the content is going to get neutered, right? So we've had a really good run. So I am at least hopeful that I will have fun on the jobs at least once, right? At least when I come in here and I do evolve mode, I expect to have fun at least one time. Maybe the challenge will get diminished, who knows? That remains to be seen. But I do think I will have fun at least once on clearing all the jobs. So I've got that to look forward to. If DPS jobs gets a good way to survive to a degree, we're going to see tank fall off. That's true, yeah. Yeah, if DPS survivability goes up, people will not play the tanks. Because you'll just have less damage. I mean, we kind of saw that with Samurai, actually, in, like, in EO and PT. Because Samurai's survivability is so nice once they get Tengensu, like, yeah, you kind of get this case to not really lean on tanks as hard. I'll just fight it. EO taught me to keep my expectations low. PT somehow even meet that. And I've learned to have no expectations. That's how I'm going in it. That's fair. I do like to get excited for something. And for me, nothing so... I wonder if they're keeping their cards close to their vest for, like, content announcement. Because so far, nothing announced has really gotten me excited, except for Evolved mode. Like, nothing else has really been, like, that big. Like, there's been some cool improvements that they've announced that, like, if I was starting the game, I would be really excited about. Like, the Chocobo thing, if that was around when I had first started the game, I would have loved that. But I'm just not at the point where that's useful to me, basically, because, like, all my jobs are leveled, right? It's like, yeah, I'll have to level it from 90 to 100 if I'm, you know, whatever, but it's not the same, you know? Like, when you're fresh in the game, having that Chocobo with you at your side is actually really nice. So I think that's actually an amazing change. It's just not... It's not something that I'm personally excited about, but I do think that it's actually a really good addition to the game. Same thing with the cross PF, or sorry, not cross PF, cross, whatever, inter-region matchmaking in PF. That is also an amazing change. Like, that is such a good change. If they had had that when Dynamis released, that would have been such good quality of life. So I actually think they're adding really good stuff to the game, but I'm just kind of at the point in my history of the game that a lot of these things that are getting added are not really for me. And that's fine. That's churn, right? Finally, I can queue frontline from Dynamis. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's such a good change for the game. So I actually do think they're really adding some cool stuff to Evercold. It's just that, like, a lot of it is not necessarily for me. And again, that's fine. Like I said, that's churn, right? Like, I don't expect them to cater the game to the crusty, you know, ARR players. Like, I don't expect them to do that. They want to keep it, you know, they want to make it good for people coming in. They want to make it for people who haven't played the game as much. I totally understand that. So that's why I'm just trying to find something to get excited about. So for me, it's just, you know, the revamp of all the jobs with Evolved is... That's something for me to get excited about, because I've been asking for job revamp for years at this point. So now they're finally doing it, and it's by the guy who made the Crystalline Conflict jobs. So I'm like, yeah, this is good. I'm here for this. So transferred to Aether 2 days before they announced the cross matchmaking. No. The timing. You were the final straw, Henry. You were the last one. They saw you transfer and they went, you know what? No one should have to transfer anymore. Well, you served Eorzeans well, okay? Yeah. You did what you had to do, and Eorzea gets to see a brighter day because of it. What was this again? A string? I kind of like this song. I kind of don't. It's like the funeral. It's like the haunted funeral home, whatever. Like front lobby. Your Atlas. Look, someone's got to do it. Which way you going, bro? Interesting take. Right into the wall. Right into the pillar. Okay. I like your style. He was like, I honestly actually didn't expect him to walk straight into the pillar, so well played. Speaking of like funeral lobby stuff, did anyone ever play Mortuary Assistant? I watched people play that game. It actually scared the hell out of me. I got to admit. I didn't play it, but I watched someone play it, and it was actually... There's some good scares in that. What? Okay, that's a respawn. I haven't played like a horror game in forever, actually. I think the last one I played was Silent Hill 3? No, I played one. I had to have played one besides that, right? Does Dead Space count as a horror game? Because if it does, that was probably the most recent horror game I played. Dead Space is a good game. I don't know about the second one. I think there's a second one. And I think maybe even a third one. First two. Okay, yeah. Dead Space is good. Like, okay. If you are into basically Alien vibes, like the first Alien, Dead Space is your jam. That is a good game. If you like that type of vibe, Dead Space is so good. I actually really enjoyed it. It's definitely a game you like play it with the lights off, right? Play it at night with the lights off. It's an experience. The sound is so good. That's what I really remember too. The sound is incredible. So definitely recommend lights off at night. Turn the sound up. It'll be fun. If you're into that. It is pretty intense. Like if that's something that sounds like it's going to give you anxiety in a bad way, don't do it. But if you like that, it's pretty darn good. There's one specific part. Oh, man. I'm not going to spoil it. If you haven't played it, man, there's one part in there. So, oh, man, it's so good. It's one of my favorite moments in games. It's incredible. I was recently playing Resident Evil Biohazard. Yeah, it's weird. Some people have such different reactions. Like, I like that feeling, you know? Like, when it's not... If it's not real life. If it's real life, like, I would never want to be in that scenario. But, look, if it's just a video game, I'll do whatever. So... I've been asking around, and I think many people are looking for the ARMS sweaty feel in games again. Excitement bordering on fear. Yeah, you know, there's been some games that I feel like have attempted to try to capture that, but I haven't really heard of like a major hit. I think there's probably like some indie games or whatever that are probably doing it maybe better. But there hasn't been like I feel like a major like AAA level, you know, this is going to be the scariest thing of all time, right? I know a Resident Evil just got released, but like Resident Evil is more like, I don't know. I feel like Resident Evil as of late is definitely more like action. Maybe I'm not up to date on Resident Evils, but I feel like it's, yeah, like I definitely feel like Resident Evil is like more action-y than it, yeah, used to be. So I feel like, yeah, it's a different type, right? It's more of like a get you kind of like, yeah, the adrenaline kind of like jump scared type of thing, right? Like that's kind of more of the vibe. Where it's like when you were in the mansion or like the house and stuff, it's more like, I don't know, that feeling of like, it was like more kind of standard horror, right? When you're just like in the old mansion or whatever, right? And you've just got zombies crawling through the walls and crap. Like that's definitely a different vibe than the current ones. You have too much agency. I can see that. I mean, I know, okay, so I know Subnautica is not technically a horror game, but I will say that was the part of Subnautica that definitely felt like scary, is there are parts where you do not feel like you have any control over the situation. Like there were parts of me playing that where I was like, I am out in the middle of the ocean, deep ocean, by myself. I'm out of food. I'm out of water. I don't have a map. And now there's a giant ass, like, sea serpent out to kill me. Like, those were the moments where I was like, okay, I understand why people say this is almost a horror game, is those moments. But those are great moments, though. That's the thing. Like, I get for some people that can be too intense, but like for me, that is like the part of the game that I will remember and be like, oh yeah, this is a great game. Because I had some terrifying moments in that game where it seemed like it was all over. Oh yeah, I'm not ready to play the second one. Like I'm not, it just made my brain hurt from not having a map. I would play the game differently now, knowing what I do, that there were actually beacons and whatnot. And I would probably not play it once a week because that also didn't help. But yeah, that game really made my brain hurt a lot, not having a map. You don't realize how much you depend on it in games until you don't have one. And then you're like, where do I go? Where have I been? So yeah, I recommend Subnautica. If you haven't played it, I mean, if you are afraid of like the deep ocean, then yeah, maybe don't play it. That might be too intense because there are some moments that are pretty horrifying. I don't know if I could handle it VR. I'm going to be real. I don't know if I could handle that VR. It felt immersive playing it on a computer screen. Like, I actually don't think I could handle VR Subnautica. When you're in the deep, dark ocean and there's like no light, you can't even see in front of you, and then you just like hear noises, that is terrifying. So yeah, I don't think I could handle that in VR. I'm just gonna be honest on that. Wait, where did my rage go? Was it in here? Good game though. I would recommend it. A little, my only complaint of Subnautica actually is the ending of the game. And it's just because they, well, this could also be skill issue, I guess. But it just felt like the game was very well paced for most of it, where it's like as you were kind of collecting materials, you were also kind of exploring. But my complaint of the game was that by the time that you're at the end of the game, you've basically seen everything that you're ever going to see, and there's a lot of crafting to do at the very end. So it just felt like a chore to finish the game. But other than that, I would say it was very solid. So it only fell apart to me at the ending, just because there was just a ton of crafting to do. So that could be skill issue. Maybe I should have like collected more materials and like, I don't know, maybe just done a better job of resource management. So it could be skill issue, but for how I played the game, the ending was just a little bit of a drag because there is a ton of crafting to do at the end of it. So felt like the ending was a little bit like kind of strung out because of that. But otherwise, I would say that was a good game. I think if the next type of game I will play where, you know, the instruction is know nothing before you play it, will probably be Outer Wilds. I've heard that's a very similar... Wait, is it Outer... Isn't there 2 games that have almost the same title? One of them is like a Fallout game, but the other one is more like Subnautica. Is it Outer Wilds? Is that the one that I am thinking I'm going to play? I don't know, but I've heard that's another one where try not to know anything going into it, and it's got that same vibe of just kind of like exploring and whatnot. Palace should be VR. I'd be down. Wilds is the one you want. Okay, thank you. Because yeah, I know there's like a very similarly titled one, but was not really that good of a game, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I think that's next on my list. I think maybe I'll do that after Baldur's Gate, maybe? I think I might do that after Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate's going to take me a while, because I am going to get my ass kicked in that game. Because I am playing on honor mode, but I'm calling it Dishonor because I've already died. But I've never played the game before, so I'm playing the game effectively without information on the hardest difficulty, and I am getting trashed. Like, I am getting dumpstered on every single fight. It is hard. It's fun, though, because I learn a lot every single fight. That's the fun part, because the enemy will do something, and I've learned if the enemy can do it, I can probably do it too. So it's a cool system of getting like thrown off of a cliff and dying, and then realizing like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. So it's kind of fun, but it's very rough. They should release Deep Dungeon with a stalker. Yeah, seriously, I think they really should add like a Tonberry into Deep Dungeon, like the ones in whatever dungeon that is, where it just follows you the whole time. I would really love to have that as like not a constant thing. I think that would be a little obnoxious, but you know, it's like an enchantment basically, right? Where it's like, or like a dread beast, like you get that type of notification where it's like, you know, a Tonberry stalks this floor instead of a dread beast, right? And it's an untargetable whatever thing that just follows you, right? That would be so cool, because that would introduce urgency into your floor plan, where it's like you can't just sit there and wait to act, right? Like, it is following you, so you need to keep moving. That would be great. I would love that as like, yeah, like an enchantment. If it was every single floor, I really think that would get old. But having it as just like a once in a while thing, I think would actually be pretty fun. Death from P3. Yeah. Don't look into that. I gotta play Baldur's Gate, but I'm obsessed with honor mode and I'm bad at it. Yeah. I only wanted to really do one playthrough, and I wanted to get the most out of that one playthrough. So I was like, okay, I'm going to play it on honor mode, and I'm going to try to know as little as I possibly can going into it. So it's been a journey so far, I'll say that. Yeah, actually, yeah, the Ruin Shade from the Chaos Trial, yeah. That thing is so annoying, but I also appreciate what it does, but it is also really annoying. It's friction, right? It's friction. Where it's like, it has to be the right kind and for the right duration to really feel rewarding. If it's too coarse, people generally don't like it, and if it's too frequent, people also generally don't like it. So it's like there's a fine line for the amount of friction someone will tolerate. It would be amazing. Imagine it popping up at the worst possible moment. Yeah, it's like, imagine that in like EO where you've got the monkeys, and so while you're trying to not get one-shot blasted from a Sasquatch, you also see the Tonberry like following you. Like you see the Tonberry approaching while all the monkeys are about to pop off. Like, I'm down. I am so down for that. Maybe it should be somewhat interactable. Maybe it just has like, you know, 1 billion HP. So there's effectively like no way you're going to kill it, but you can use like a witching on it or something, you know? I feel like that would be fair. I've been advocating for a stalker for a while. It's such a good idea. Like, it really is. I would have loved to have seen it. Friction and lubed up. That's one way to put it. Strayborough as a deep dungeon horror theme. Alright. Wonder if the tech would be to stun it somehow. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think for sake of... it's a real thing. Look, we're allowed to be excited about things that aren't real, okay? I think for it to be fair, I definitely don't think it would be fair for it to be able to be slept, because that's a 30-second pause button. So I think sleep would be too powerful, but stun seems pretty fair because of how close you have to get to it. So you're maybe jeopardizing dying by trying to stun it. So that seems pretty fair. I think sleep would be overpowered. Or like a witching would also be fair. Another thing I've thought about is, imagine if Deep Dungeon had a mob that grabs you like Yako and slams you to the center. Yeah, anything that's more displacement, I actually think this game mode would really benefit from. Like, more chaos. The more chaos, I think the better Deep Dungeon gets. Within reason. I mean, I think what PT did pave the way for, and if it takes them an entire expansion to basically realize that, then so be it. But, like, they should make the base difficulty of Deep Dungeon so that anyone basically can do it. But if they don't implement a system that allows you to make it more difficult to your taste, then I think that they are messing up, because we saw how popular PT was. So to say that they shouldn't make a more approachable Deep Dungeon, I think is pretty, for lack of a better word, dumb. Like, I think they should make an approachable content, but at the same time, like, if they're not going to make it so that there's like a more challenging version, then I think that they're messing up, because they have spent so much time in the last couple keynotes talking about this new Savage, you know, this new difficulty between normal and Savage, and it's like, yeah, I think like the entire game needs that, not just rating. Like, I think the entire game needs this, you know, multiple approach to difficulty thing. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's very it's definitely promising that they're talking about that idea, and it was interesting that they decided to create Quantum. We didn't like how it was implemented, and the fact that it skipped a Deep Dungeon was also not cool, but it's good at least that they have these ideas. Now we just need them to put these ideas in the right place. That's the only thing that we're really missing. say the qualification should be a full room or getting lucky with a chest. I'm down. Would you be able to kill it with a Magicite? Hell no. It should be immune. Like, it is something that you can postpone but not remove. That's what I think would make it fun. Oh, nice. Thanks, game. Maybe you could use a rare palm to blind it for 30 seconds. Yeah, exactly. Like, just something in there where it's like, you didn't get rid of it, you just only delayed. Like, you only delayed it. I think that's like the only real way to keep it fun and interesting the whole time. Well, I guess if it was like a... I don't know, I mean, if you were willing to throw a Magicite into it, that's pretty bad. Like, you're gonna actually really suffer from that. So I don't know, actually. Maybe that would be good. Be like, hey, yeah, you can get rid of this if you want. I mean, you can get rid of your Magicite. That's a pretty steep price to pay, but it might be your only way of dealing with it. But of course, they would have to be rare. Like, Magicites would have to be rare enough that that actually felt like a decision that you actually had to weigh, right? Like, if they're dropping like candy, you're just like, oh yeah, just get rid of it. Like a Criterion Deep Dungeon? Exactly. My first day back at work, I've been staring at the room ceiling for 4 straight days. Am I doing a challenge run? Nope. Wow. Wait a minute. Oh, this is the entrance. Dude, the respawns are out of control today. Alright, anyway. No challenge run. The idea is, yeah, I just want to get what I consider the greatest hits of Deep Dungeon pre-Evercold recorded, because I don't have VODs for any of these jobs. So I just kind of want to get footage of all of these, and so they may be gone forever. Probably not. I would assume that basically things will remain the same, but there is a chance that some of these jobs are changed to the point where we don't, really recognize them the same anymore. So I just kind of want to have a record. Okay. Unless there's a strength in here, otherwise I'll just use one. Okay. I got the free steel at least, that's nice. Still believe Magicite shouldn't be a thing. Kind of in the same boat there. Well, let's be real. I had a change of heart on them. When I was trying to clear Heaven on High for the first time, I was like, Magicite is the only way I'm gonna ever be able to clear this damn place. So I was very pro Magicite when I was going for Lone Hero. But now that I have done, so much Deep Dungeon, now I'm like, you know what? Magicite is so cheap. Like, we need to get rid of Magicite. So I will admit that there was a period of time where I loved Magicite, but I am at the point now where I'm like, maybe they are too strong, Like, being able to just one-shot everything, does that really seem like it's that fair? So I have to point out that me, at the beginning of my Deep Dungeon journey, would have been very pro Magicite. Pull that ladder up. I'm trying to be honest. Alright, gonna hold on to sustain for a second. Okay. This is another boss where I don't have to lust this, but do you really want to sit here forever and do this 100 times? Not really. reassemble. And we are machinists, so missing 1 strength for 151 is really not a big deal. We will most likely get it back. And if we move efficiently, it really is not going to impact our time. Even if we don't use a strength for the entire set, I believe we will be okay. Machinist does enough damage. And if I've learned anything from doing Deep Dungeon, it's that sometimes you do just have to treat yourself. You'll be better off for it in the long run. Even if maybe there's some short-term suffering afterwards, sometimes you just gotta treat yourself to a fast boss. If I played a little bit better with my gauge management, maybe could have killed. Well, maybe I still will. I guess we'll see. It's gonna be really close. Nice. So yeah, that's why you use Strength and Lust. You barely have to do the boss. Hey. Okay. Well, I think that's going to be it. That's pretty good because it's Machinist is quick, so I can do a 151 start and probably have like a decent stream for part 2 of this. But yeah, that was what? Basically 3 hours, 45-ish minutes if we count little stops and, you know, mini breaks and chatting and whatnot. More or less. From 51 to 150. So that's 100 floors in about 345, 347, something like that. That's not bad. So yeah, I can basically prep a file in under 4 hours. That's nice. So yeah, next run or next time for this will be 151 to 200, assuming I don't mess up. Machinist is favored to win, but there's always human error involved, so I definitely could fail, but the plan is next run we clear. Or sorry, next stream for this we clear. It's also almost a new month. So we will be doing, heads up if you're doing Deep Dungeon of the Month. Next month, August, we're doing Heaven on High Reaper. And if you're so inclined, you can also do Dragoon, which was meant to be a free trial alternative if you don't have